Welcome back. An autopsy will have to be done to determine the cause of death of an adult male who was found partially submerged in the sand on Pink Sand Beach on the north side of Harbour Island, Eleuthera. Police say they were notified of the discovery of the deceased around 6:25 a.m. on Sunday. The body was found on the eastern side of the island by a jogger. He was clad in a blue and purple swim trunks with no visible signs of injury. Unconfirmed reports out of Harbour Island say that the man is a Haitian national who likely drowned while attending an event. Police investigations continue as they follow significant leads. A benefits presentation was hosted by Colina Insurance Company, informing employees of the Office of the Attorney General and Ministry of Legal Affairs about their plans offerings. We hear more from Colina Insurance's Manager of Group Sales, Cheryl Martin, about the plan the government has decided to go with. It's called the Distinctive Care Plan.
Scope of coverage includes basic life insurance. There's also accidental life and dismemberment. Major medical, which is the biggest part of the plan and what persons would be most concerned about, but there's also dental and vision as supplemental benefits. Well, I think in general insurance is important because without coverage and protection, a family or an individual could find themselves being bankrupt. Certainly as it relates to healthcare insurance, with the cost of healthcare as it is in our country and abroad as well, there has to be assistance or protection. We're all familiar with persons who've had to have the fundraiser, the stakeout, the cookout to try to assist when there's a significant healthcare issue. So this is going to, I think, add peace of mind and also help to demonstrate the value that the government places on these employees.
With the Distinctive Care Plan being the richest package of benefits the company provides, Ms. Martin explains why employees should be concerned about having insurance.
I think they want to know that when, and clients in general, want to know that when a claim is presented, that Colina is going to be responsive. We're going to follow through with promises made, which we absolutely intend to do. Colina being one of the oldest insurance carriers in the Bahamas and certainly the largest life insurance carrier and a significant health insurance carrier, we are definitely all about being able to meet our commitments when that claim is presented. A big question is pre-existing conditions. In this case, we're not able to immediately cover pre-existing conditions. There is an exclusion for the first 12 months, but persons understood that, and so I think that was well received.
Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senator Ryan Pinder, explains why this moment was a long time in the making and is a big win for employees in the government's legal sector.
So this is a project and a process that's been 10 years in the making. And what it is, we're offering health insurance now to attorneys and magistrates on the JL scale. They have to be permanent and pensionable, but now for the first time they're going to be given the opportunity to be covered under health insurance. This is, like I said, something that's been ongoing within the Office of the Attorney General for 10 years. The attorneys have been advocating for it. I'm a firm believer that the Attorney General's office is the largest and most prestigious law firm in the Bahamas, and we should treat our attorneys that way, and as you would be treated in the private sector. And so this is one step to putting in a benefit scheme that's comparable to what you would find in law firms in the private sector, and it's going to go a long way to on our journey to increase the retention of lawyers.
Minister Pinder goes on to explain that the ministry, as well as the Office of the Attorney General, lost a number of very good attorneys because the private sector has more lucrative offers. However, he said with the improved insurance coverage, he hopes to see a change in that trend. Minister of Transport and Housing, Jobeth Kobe Davis, providing more clarity to the public following a fake amendment document on road traffic circulating on social media last week. The document suggested that any registered owner of a motor vehicle must seek the written permission from the Road Traffic Department to permit any other person to use his or her motor vehicle on any road. This caused immense uproar from the public, who deemed this amendment to be nonsense. Even after a statement was released on the miscommunication, Minister Kobe Davis sought to add further clarity on Monday.
So there was a false amendment circulating, and that got the public in an uproar. But the real amendment that we did make for road traffic, and I'll speak more to it in my budget contribution, was we got some complaints, a lot coming from the Family Island, that persons with Airbnb were also tying in private vehicles as a part of the package deal and having it leased or rented as a SD self-drive. And because the insurance part of the SDs or taxis or liveries cover other drivers in a particular way with other passengers, we had to make sure that it was clear that it is not allowed to use private vehicles for that other sort of transportation, which is public rental, passenger drive.
She goes on to say that the amendment seeks to increase the penalty for those breaking the particular law of renting vehicles without the proper license.
That amendment was just to increase the penalty so that persons understand that it is not acceptable to add in private vehicles and have it leased or rented as a self-drive as a part of your Airbnb package. And so that was one of the concerns that was raised, and so we wanted to address it and just change it out. The penalty, I think, was initially 100. So it's now set at 500 to 1,000. And that was just to increase the urgency of persons to stop doing that.
As for other amendments to the various road traffic acts, Minister Colby Davis says she will speak more to them in her upcoming budget communication. The Ministry of Transport and Housing, in collaboration with the Ministry of Education, the Department of Meteorology, and the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, announcing the Nicolo P. Small Meteorology Cadet Program, with the core values being curiosity, passion, and innovation. Minister of Transport and Housing, Jobeth Colby Davis, explains the program is open to high school and college students ages 14 to 25.
For high school, the enrollment criteria include a minimum GPA of 2.5, interest in pursuing a career in meteorology or science field, and a minimum of C grade in BJC mathematics and general science, and or a minimum of a C grade in BGCSE mathematics, and a minimum of a grade C in one of the following BGCSE subjects: physics, chemistry, or geography. For college students, a minimum GPA of 2.5 is required. College students must be enrolled in a STEM major. All completed application forms are to be sent via email to npsmc@bahamas.gov.bs. Application forms can be obtained by emailing npsmc@bahamas.gov.bs, or can be collected from the Department of Meteorology and the Ministry of Transport and Housing.
Participants will be receiving a stipend along with lessons from the best meteorologist in the country. The program will run from June 22nd until August 4th, Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Department of Meteorology. Minister of State in the Ministry of Education, Technical and Vocational Training, Zane Lightbourne, says all young Bahamians are encouraged to apply, as they will be the ones to bear the brunt of climate change.
And so we want to make sure that we have the level of expertise, a succession plan for our students to be interested and to seek careers in meteorology, and therefore this program is very timely. It has a stipend which is enticing to our students. It's a 6-week program, so it's a quick certification, and those subjects that were mentioned, they're easily attainable. We expect that most of our students can attain at least a C in the subjects mentioned, and therefore we're asking for students to be excited about this, because this is a very active cadet program. You will be thrust right into our climate fight, as the Prime Minister, the Honorable Prime Minister, has been taking it regionally and globally, and you will be a part of helping that particular cause.
Commodore of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force, Dr. Raymond King, says the participants will be receiving hands-on experience with disaster management. Lead lecturer of the program, Basil Dean, will facilitate the weather identification aspect, along with Acting Director of Meteorology, Jeffrey Simmons.
Our role will be to facilitate the training program by giving them some hands-on experience and knowledge about the disaster management process. Planning, preparation, mitigation, response, recovery, and reconstruction, and being able to share with those students the real-life experiences from the impact of natural disasters, particularly hurricanes.
The cadets, I can assure you, will be exposed to the science of meteorology, which will expose them to the atmosphere, which is our laboratory. And they will be taught the structure and composition of the atmosphere. We will teach them about pressure systems, air masses, and show them how these impact our weather and climate. And having a background in knowing what these weather systems or how these weather systems work, we will introduce them to forecasting tools and techniques. And at the end of the program, we will also introduce them to the production and presentation of weather television.
The deadline to apply is June 22nd. And finally, Minister of Tourism, Investments and Aviation, Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper, believes that the opening of Bahamasair ticket offices in downtown Freeport is a testament of the national airline's commitment to the growth of tourism and its commitment to the revitalization of Grand Bahama. While attending the opening on Friday, Mr. Cooper, who was the keynote speaker, said the new Bahamas Freeport, I could just start in the middle right there. While attending the opening on Friday, Mr. Cooper, who was the keynote speaker, said the new Bahamasair Freeport ticket offices are indicative of the renaissance beginning to take hold on Grand Bahama. The new offices located in Tropical Plaza represents a critical move for the national airline in Freeport, cutting away 3 years of the airline not having a presence in the heart of the second city. Following Hurricane Dorian in 2019, Bahamasair was forced to shutter the doors to its ticket offices and moved the process to the airport base. The new offices are expected to provide customers with a more convenient access to the airline called Bahamasair. And that'll do it for your JCN Evening News. Once again, I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us.
This segment of the news has been brought to you by Sun Oil Limited.